Okay, so I'm Michael Quantz with the Brownsville Society for the Performing Arts, guest hosting this episode of Brownsville Matters. So Dr. W.F. Strong is away on vacation, so I snuck in to do this podcast without telling anybody. And we happen to have a special guest with us today, Lizzy Estorga.
Hello.
Who is a singer-songwriter in our very own community. Welcome, Lizzy.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
So my first question is, when did you get to Brownsville?
I moved here when I was 5 years old, and I'm originally from Monterrey, moved to Matamoros, and then I moved to Brownsville when I was 5.
Oh, and you probably had your family with you?
Yeah,
oh,
definitely.
Okay. Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. And when did you start singing?
I started singing around the age of 4. I mean, I remember that I got like a boombox. You remember those? Yeah.
Those new things? Of course I remember those.
I had one of those, and I used to just blast it. And from then on, the rest was history. Singing was always my thing.
Did you have particular artists that you listened to on your boombox that really kind of gave you the energy to sing along?
Yes. So I was an only child, and for me, television was like my thing. So Disney Channel definitely contributed to my music aspirations. High School Musical, Cheetah Girls, the whole thing. I feel like that definitely like cranked it up for me.
Yeah. So do you still gravitate to high energy kind of tunes?
I guess it really all depends. But lately, I've been in a groove where, happy music is just like it for me. But yeah, definitely, High School Musical. And then my first concert was the Cheetah Girls. And that was like, oh, that's nice. What do I have to do to get up there?
So you saw that concert, and for the first time you realized that would be a possibility for you.
Yeah, no, for sure. And last year was very, very funny because I performed at the, what's it called? Pain Arena?
Okay.
Yeah, and I believe that's where that concert was. So when I was there last year, I was like, oh, this was where my first concert was. It's happening.
That must have been quite a milestone.
Yeah. I was like, 9-year-old me would be so proud. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
So does that style also really make up a large part of your own musical composition?
Not really. So basically growing up, I was involved in wedding bands, duos. So I've sang from like salsa to jazz to metal to rock. And I think that I picked up my favorite parts of each genre and tried to implement that in whatever it is that I'm writing. So yeah.
It depends on your feeling, your emotional state at the time, and that kind of lends itself to you moving to a particular style?
Yeah, especially when it comes to like my singing. But whenever it comes to my music, I think if you listen to each and every one of my songs, each one is very different and almost a different genre, but around the same lines of indie, independent songwriter type.
Yeah. So what are the kind of stories that you gravitate to when you write something?
So I think my main where I basically...
Or do you have something that's a specific process, or is it more inspirational to you?
I like writing songs about my own personal experiences, but then there are times where I really like to put myself in the shoes of others, and that's pretty special to me. I have friends who tell me about, their personal lives, and I'm like, well, I think all of us can relate to this. So I write a song about it, and the songwriting process is very different for each one of the songs, though. Sometimes the lyrics come first, sometimes the music comes first, sometimes I'm asleep and I hear it in my head and I have to wake up and record a quick voice note on my phone so I don't forget it the next morning.
That's a really old kind of scenario, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody from Paul Simon to classical music composers and every style. It could happen anytime, any avenue of inspiration. The words might hit you first, like you said. It came to me in a dream.
Yeah, for real. And it's like people look at you like you're crazy, but it's like, no. I've been in the, sitting with my family having dinner, and I'm like, excuse me, I'll be right back. Like, I can't miss this opportunity. Yeah.
So they pretty much know that, oh, she's been struck by inspiration, and they'll leave you alone.
Yeah. So I was raised by my grandmother, and she was my number one supporter whenever I came to arts. And she's always let me make as much noise as I want to in the house. I could be just blasting the speakers at, the whole frames on the wall, just shaking. And she never told me anything about it. So she just let me be free, which is pretty great.
That is really awesome. What really excites you about playing live in front of audiences?
I love being a positive voice for the Latinx community. And it feels very nice to be able to travel and go, Puro 956. And people scream. And it's like, yeah, they know. I sang in Austin last year, and I did it, and everyone went wild. And I was like, yes, 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 yes.
But now you have another one that you can also say from the stage, Puro 105.1.
Yeah. No, yeah, for sure.
So what places have you been? Where's your music taken you?
So last year I hopped on my first tour with an artist named Caloncho.
Okay.
He's from Mexico, and I went on tour with him it was a Texas tour that I took on. Austin, San Antonio, McAllen, and Dallas. Yeah. So that was my first tour that I picked up. And then after that, it was just one after the other. Hello Seahorse, Carla Morrison, Jesse and Joy. And it just has been kept going. I don't know if you're familiar with Ivan Cornejo, but he's pretty big. And I got invited to open for him there at the Paint Arena. And then they liked my performance so much, they pulled me up to Irving, Texas to play at the Toyota Music Factory.
Awesome.
That was a big show.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you also performed outside of Texas?
Not yet.
Not yet. So it remains to be seen.
I'm actually moving.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Brownsville's going to lose you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I will come back.
Okay, good.
Stronger.
Good. Where are you moving to?
Massachusetts.
Boston. I heard about the Pay It Forward, right?
They have a lot of music going up there, but let's just say it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so are you moving up there just to perform, or are you going to study as well, or?
Both.
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 Yeah. So you're going to go to Berkeley. Is that true?
No.
No. Where are you going to go?
No, I'm actually studying communications.
Oh.
Yeah.
This kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to have to keep in contact with us and let us know all the things that we're doing wrong and right as we progress through this process. So make sure you keep in touch with us.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
Okay. And what excites you about the area of communications?
I don't know. I've just always been fascinated with human behavior, and it's just something that's always come to me. And people ask me like, how do you do this, or how did you get that gig? And I'm like, you just find a way, right? But yeah, I feel like public relations and talking to people has definitely been number one whenever it comes to my profession as a musician.
Yeah. So that is all part and parcel of what you've experienced as a singer-songwriter, and you're going into this field with perhaps more artistic connections in a broader way, or you don't know yet, or what kind of path do you see, if any?
I believe that at least based on my life here in the Valley, that I'll be able to network with other individuals. And I feel like if you just, if you speak to a person that might know another person that might know another person, that just like opens everything up for you. And I'm crazy about networking and getting to know people. It's just so interesting. So yeah, I think that'll definitely help open the doors more for me for music. But for now, I think I am becoming an established musician finally, and it feels really good because I've been doing this for so long. So
yeah. I see podcasts in your future then, the way you're describing it. Do you already have a title for your show yet?
I don't know.
You might just do a self-title.
We'll see. I am obsessed with podcasts though.
Yeah, well, you and I think about 6 billion others. Yeah, they're kind of blowing up.
Yeah.
Do you have particular topics that you're interested in?
Crime.
I
don't know.
I think you're kind of leaning to the psychological end of human behavior.
Yeah, I really like Crime Junkie. NPR has pretty nice stuff on Spotify, and there's a podcast called the Lex Friedman podcast.
Oh yeah, I know Lex Friedman. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, so it's very, very, very fascinating to just get to know people. I feel like there's a lot we don't know, and we can get to know people, get to know the world through the eyes of others as well.
It sounds very different, sounds very broad about your interests in what you write songs about and what interests you in terms of observing human behavior. It seems like you have a real breadth of interests. Do you see yourself continuing as an artist through this process?
Oh yeah, I chose a career pathway that I think will complement what I'm already doing. So initially it was a business major, and I think, I mean, yes, it could help me, but I feel that communications is more towards what I feel like communications complements my passions. I'm already 27 years old, so I'm sure that.
You're almost over the hill now at 20.
Right. No, it's because I feel like it took me a very long time to say, okay, this is what I want to do, and just be 100% sure of it.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, what skills can I attain to help build this that I love so much? Because music is not an option. It is the one thing that I am 100% sure of.
Right. So you're totally into that, and you don't see yourself moving away from music.
Performing. No, I went to the studio this past week, and I stepped in there, and I told my boyfriend, I was like, I really needed this. Like, I can't not do this. I need to do this at least once a year.
Yeah.
If not, I start going crazy.
So it's a refuge for you in a way.
Yeah. Because it's like, I gave myself a year to like live life, and it's ups and downs, and I journal a lot, so it all accumulates, and I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to let it out. And these new songs that I'm going to be recording are going to be very different compared to the other ones that I've written.
Different in terms of their musical quality or their stories, or both? Their stories.
I think, I already found like really amazing producers. I feel very fortunate to be working with them. And I'll still be working with the same producers. However, I feel like the storylines are going to be very different. For a very long time, my songs were about heartbreak. But now it's like, now I'm in love. Now I want to write songs about love and life. Yeah, and not even just in love with the person that I'm with, but in love with life. Yeah.
So they say that living is probably the best inspiration for your art. And very frequently artists talk about having to take time off, stepping back, not being overly concerned with their artistic output, but just kind of hanging out in life. And that naturally tends to feed your inspiration. and it tends to change inspiration, doesn't it?
No, for sure. Yeah, I think I finally understand why artists take a break from social media, for example. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense because you just get to like reset.
Yeah, it seems like we get trapped in our own silos, our own social media bubbles, and the algorithms don't help very much expanding our exposure to different ideas, different perspectives that are more human and humane.
Yeah, you have to definitely, as an independent artist, I think right now is a very good time to be an artist because we have social media and it's very powerful. And if you're consistent enough and you just post and post and post, something should happen sooner or later. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of artists are stuck in a gray area because there are some people who just want to create music, but now we're stuck in it's very gray. You have to be a songwriter, but now you also have to be a content creator. And it's tricky. It can be very overwhelming sometimes.
So what advice would you give to artists who are starting out like you did and have a story to tell, some things to say about your experience in life and how that might connect to others? What advice would you give them in dealing with that whole landscape of social media?
I would say post whatever you don't force anything. Just be. Whoever is going to stay is going to stay. For XYZ, for whatever reason, let's say you lose a lot of followers, no pasa nada. Like, your true followers are going to stay. I would say, yes, be consistent and look at social media as an opportunity to grow, because back in the day it was not like that. Back in the day you really had to lean towards connections, and someone I knew in my family used to always tell me, you have to get the strike of luck in order to be a singer. And in my head I was like, no, I'm gonna make my own luck. And sure enough, that's what happened. I come from a family of musicians.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's a great start and a wonderful foundation to generate your own ideas musically. There's so many artists that have early influences in their lives that really seem to generate this whole joyous need to do that work of creating an artistic expression, a story about how you viewed something, how you experienced something, and how that connects to others. And basically, the advice is to be yourself, not try and find that magic phrase or magic set of people online to connect with. Just don't even worry about that. Just post stuff and be yourself.
I think that's the most important thing, to always stay true to yourself. And whenever you're an artist, it's not really a conversation that I've had with any of my musician friends, but any type of artist, people are always going to give you their opinion on how you should portray yourself, how you should dress, how you should execute XYZ project that you're working on. No, just do whatever you want. It's your project.
Oh, that sounds like great advice. That's kind of the heart of personal expression anyway.
Yeah.
So is there anything in particular that you see yourself doing musically in the near future? Do you have any events coming up that you want folks to know about in, say, October?
I'm going to have something in August.
In August?
Yes.
We'll see if we can get this to air. When is it in August?
2nd.
Oh, no. Well, we wish you good luck on that one, but it doesn't look like we'll be able to get this podcast on air for that one.
Yeah.
But if you have something else coming up, you need to let us know. We'll put that up there.
Yeah.
And so when are you leaving Brownsville?
I leave in August.
Oh. Good thing we caught you just before you left.
Yeah. No, I want to do as much as I can before I go.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you'll stay connected with Brownsville, and you'll let us know how things are going.
yeah.
And okay, very good, very good. Do you already have you been to Boston before?
No.
Oh my gosh. There's so much to explore
I know.
in Boston.
Everyone keeps telling me I know Berkeley's there, so
Right.
I'm sure I'll be able to connect with musicians somehow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's only like 1,200 of them there, so yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
There's always a way.
Yeah. Are there any venues that you would like to play there that you know about?
No.
Oh, you have
But I
so
will.
much to discover.
I'm starting to do my research, and I already have a list of things. I can't remember names, but I already have my game plan.
Nice.
Like, yeah.
So do you have already a set that you've worked on that you've done before or that you're recreating? You mentioned that you're just in the studio lately. Are you recreating or recording new stuff for a new EP?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
When do you think that's going to come out?
Probably not till the end of this year.
Okay. So
Yeah.
people will watch out for your new EP.
Yeah, it'll be singles. It's singles for this year, and I'll
okay.
be working hopefully on my next EP next year. Mm-hmm. If all goes well, I'll be able to. My dream is to just record my first album, but as an independent artist, that's not very easy.
Right. It's a complicated process.
Yeah, and not just the process, but financially, it's like you want to go to school or you want to do music.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there are also avenues where you can kind of gradually do both, especially the recording part. There are ways for you to find digital recording that is satisfying to you and the musicians that you want to work with and the producer that you've already connected to. I think you'll be able to do what you want to do there. It's much easier to connect with recording and putting out an EP, but the publicity part and really connecting and getting a broad response, that's a little bit more difficult because it's on the musicians now, much more so than a label. Capitol Records or something like that.
Yeah.
That's both. There's an up and down to that, isn't there? But it's your stuff and you get to own it. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So some singles throughout the course of the year, maybe at the end of the year,
Yeah,
and then
I'll be having
an album.
A few singles this year. For sure. Yeah.
Very cool. So do you have your Instagram that people should connect to?
Yes, my Instagram is at Lizzy Estorga.
Okay, at Lizzy Estorga.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. And from there, they can get to YouTube channel,
The
and
whole shebang.
Facebook, MySpace. Well, maybe not MySpace.
I actually had MySpace.
What?
Yeah.
It's still a thing?
Well, it might become a thing again.
It might?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not too sure about that, but
No, I don't know if as much as like other social medias, but I still log into my old MySpace account.
wow.
Just because, good times. It's nice to remember.
Yeah, well, then maybe I should hold on to my old dial-up then too.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Lizzie, for spending some of your valuable time with us and letting us know about your next adventures and about your music making. And we're going to connect to all of those things on the screen, down here and up there, maybe a little over here. And we'll have that on part of the podcast as we go through the interview. Thank you so much, and
thank
great
you.
good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
You bet.
Howdy, I'm Lizzy Estorga. We are at BSPA, and today I'd like to invite you to listen to my latest single, Te Fuiste, on all streaming platforms. Last but not least, remember that Brownsville matters.
Thanks for watching this BSPA video. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you like what you see. And if you really like what you see, go ahead and go to our website, brosoperformingarts.org, and smash the donate button. And then we'll really like you too.